Welcome to 11 on 11 on THV 11 Plus. We start with news from Dardanelle, where a desperate search is underway. Police are looking for a missing mother and her 7-week-old baby. That's who you're seeing on the right side of your screen, 20-year-old Ashlyn Boxnick and her infant daughter. According to Dardanelle police, someone called to report Boxnick left home with the child with concerns she may harm herself. About an hour and a half later, officers say they found her car parked at a boat ramp to the Arkansas River. Investigators say surveillance footage shows Boxnick parking her car before walking toward the water. They can't tell on the video if she had her daughter with her. Crews from multiple agencies spent the day searching the water for them both. Researchers had to take a break because of high current, but plan to start first thing the next morning. Those who know Boxnick say they're heartbroken as they wait for answers.
It's tragic, she's really seen her turn her life around, change, she loved this baby. It's just a tragic event.
Several agencies from throughout the River Valley participated in the search, sending boats, aircraft, and drones to assist the effort. In other news, a suspect in the killing of a 17-year-old is now behind bars. It happened Tuesday night at an apartment complex. Both the person killed and the suspect are under 18, so we don't know their identities, but the sheriff's office says it's holding the alleged killer in the juvenile detention center. A Little Rock man who has lived in the area for more than 25 years is now fighting to clear his name after being detained by ICE. Victor Manuel Hernandez Romo was held at a West Memphis ICE facility for about 3 weeks before being released this week on a $1,500 bond. His attorney says Romo was detained after an adjustment of status interview earlier this month and was mistakenly linked to another individual in a different state who has a removal order and criminal history, while Romo himself has no criminal record and has been working through the legal path to citizenship. His attorney now says the case has created a new legal battle to clear his name and prove the mix-up.
The individual who I thought that my client was actually somebody who had been ordered removed, deported by the Illinois Immigration Court. There are a lot of mistakes happening right now that the government is overlooking, and it has real consequences for people who try to do the right thing.
His next court date has not been set, and his family says the experience has been emotionally difficult as they continue working through a lengthy immigration process. And Old Main is getting a new look in North Little Rock. The iconic school building set to get renovated. It was approved by voters, and THV 11's Carter Thweet shows us what's next and how you can take a piece of it home.
Well, if you're one of the thousands of students who has memories in this building over the years, Saturday offers you one more chance to reminisce and maybe take a piece of that history home with you.
Historic Old Main, grounded in the civil rights movement, North Little Rock 6. It's just the pillar of our community.
Dr. Gregory Paluski says the community loves this building. The North Little Rock superintendent says it's time for this community pillar, built in 1930, to get a facelift.
There were 3 projects. The first one is the middle school, which is going up right now. The second, the renovation of Old Main, and then the third, an indoor sports complex.
Voters approved all 3 projects in a 2025 millage election. The district plans to move the Center of Excellence, its public charter school, into this building. First, crews need to clear out items it no longer needs, and that's where you come in.
Just looking forward to having the community in and give them an opportunity to tour. And if there's something they want to take home that we can allow them to take home, we're going to offer that donation to them, and they'll have that iconic memorabilia.
The building will open from 8 a.m. to noon this Saturday. The district will accept electronic donations to its building fund in exchange for desks, chairs, bookshelves, podiums, and any other piece of Old Main they won't be needing.
In the not too distant future, we're going to have to clean out Old Main anyways, and it's going to go to the dump. It's going to go into the trash. So we want to be able to offer that to our community. See you on Saturday.
In North Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Carter. Drivers in Cabot are about to see years of road work at a high-traffic interchange. RDOT is rebuilding I-57 at Highway 5 as growth puts more pressure on that route. This is the area crews will redesign with a new overpass and a different way to move traffic on and off the interstate. Catherine Rowley shows what drivers will deal with during construction and what RDOT says will change after it's done.
This upgrade is going to serve a lot of people, not only the growing population of Cabot, but people from Lonoke County to Pulaski County.
Every day, thousands of drivers move through the Highway 5 and I-57 corridor, a key route connecting northern Lonoke and Pulaski counties. To handle the demands of rapid growth, the Arkansas Department of Transportation is replacing the overpass with a design rarely seen in Arkansas.
We're going to be replacing that Highway 5 overpass over Interstate 57 and constructing what we call a SPUI, but it stands for Single Point Urban Interchange.
Here's a look at what the overpass currently looks like. Now, fast forward to the project's completion, this is what RDOT says drivers can expect.
It takes all of those points of traffic coming from different directions off of the interstate and from Highway 5, and it funnels them through one single traffic light. So it makes things more efficient, more safe, and it creates fewer points of conflict there at that intersection.
Local leaders, including Gina Jones, president and CEO of the Cabot Area Chamber of Commerce, say the project comes at a critical time as Cabot continues to grow rapidly.
Unfortunately, that brings more people that are driving on the streets more, so a lot more traffic congestion. So we're really hoping that this will help.
Residents who use this corridor daily say that the added lanes could make a major difference once the project is complete.
And I truly think that the 3 lanes on both sides going there and back from Cabot through down to Little Rock. I mean, I think that that's going to be huge, and it should help traffic if they can ever get it finished and open.
RDOT says the project is currently on schedule with completion expected by mid-2028. In Cabot, Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Every time we walk into this studio, we pass this plaque dedicating the space to BJ Sams. For many of us, he defined Arkansas TV news. Viewers trusted him, welcomed him into their homes each and every morning. Here's a look back at BJ's accomplishments.
I've been able to interview people like presidents, governors, congressmen, senators, movie stars, TV stars, Miss Americas. I've interviewed a lot of people and had a very interesting life.
For more than 50 years, that life played out in front of the camera. From his start as a teenage radio station janitor turned DJ to becoming one of the most trusted and recognizable anchors in Arkansas. BJ Sams first made his mark in Little Rock in the 1960s before taking his talents to Honolulu, where he became one of Hawaii's best-known journalists. But Arkansas became the place he truly called home. When he returned and joined THV 11, Sams helped build a morning newscast that became #1 for more than a decade. Alongside Robin Richardson and Tom Brannan, he became part of viewers' routines and their families.
BJ Sams is looking good.
After I've been in the business 50 years, station named the studio. This studio is named after me, so that's a kick.
And it's still named after you.
Yeah.
Those plaques are never coming down.
Okay.
Over the years, BJ interviewed newsmakers, but the connection he built with viewers mattered most.
Some of the viewers referred to me as family, an old shoe, and even the Cronkite of Arkansas, which made me be proud to be an Arkansan. I'm reminded that a long life may be not good enough, but a good life is long enough.
A career that earned the highest honors in broadcasting, including multiple Hall of Fame inductions and a Lifetime Achievement Emmy. But more than the awards, BJ Sams will be remembered for the way he made people feel, informed, steady, and at home.
I'd like to share this promise with you from Isaiah. He will give beauty for ashes, joy instead of mourning, and praise instead of heaviness. Some of you have experienced the ashes, the mourning, the heaviness, but the Lord has promised us beauty, joy, and praise. It all depends on what we are willing to accept. Thank you, and God bless you.
Really touched on it there, but you really can't talk enough about BJ's impact on Arkansas morning TV. For years, he helped turn a recap of yesterday's news into appointment viewing for Arkansans. Alongside Robin Richardson and Tom Brannan, they created a show for people to start their day with every day. BJ had the balance of the classic, trusted anchorman mixed with the friendliness that helped viewers start their day on a high note. A lot of people didn't just tune in for the news. They wanted to see what BJ, Robin, and Tom would do next. 27 years he spent here at THV 11. He actually was on The Tom Show not that long ago. He and Robin and Tom reminisced on old times, and that is now available on THV 11 Plus. We have more news coming up after the break with an update on the Pine Bluff Aquatic Center, what we know about the investigation as the doors are reopened for the first time in 2 weeks. Welcome back. In Pine Bluff, the investigation continues into the drowning death of an 81-year-old woman earlier this month. And though questions about what exactly happened still remain to be answered, the city says the facility is safe to reopen. THV 11's Carter Thweet has more details as the center is now open to the public.
Well, this facility reopened today after nearly 2 weeks of being closed. And when I arrived today around noon, it was empty aside from staff. But throughout the day, more and more children and families have come to enjoy the reopening of the Aquatic Center. And all of this comes after an 84-year-old woman drowned here on June the 10th. The facility report says that staff found her unresponsive in the whirlpool. Police and EMS responded and performed CPR before she was pronounced dead at the hospital. Now the city of Pine Bluff is leading an investigation and says it hopes to release their results soon. The Arkansas Department of Health also inspected the facility, which is standard after incidents like this. And their report found there was no flow meter to measure water circulation in the whirlpool, and the alkalinity, which measures the water's chemical stability, was too low. Now, follow-up reports from the ADH indicate that alkalinity issue has been corrected, and they were also just investigating the facilities themselves. There's no indication that any of that led to the woman's drowning. The city investigation will continue. The police department tells me today that the city is taking the lead because this is a city-owned facility, and so we will continue to wait for the results of that investigation. In Pine Bluff, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
A program that started during the civil rights movement is helping local students this summer. Second Baptist Church in Little Rock just launched its Freedom School for 2026. THV 11's Tamer Knight shows us how it started and why it still matters.
Chants, songs, and affirmations fill the room each morning at the Freedom School at Second Baptist Church in Little Rock.
So that they can feel good about themselves and to motivate them to want to read and write.
It's called Harambe, a celebration to motivate students for the day.
Read aloud, read aloud, read aloud. If our children can read, they can succeed.
Freedom schools began during the civil rights movement when leaders discovered many people lacked access to basic literacy education. That same focus carries into the classroom where literacy, culture, and social justice shapes the summer curriculum.
Helping the students that, number one, that he pastors, that we deal with right here at Second Baptist, and partnership in a sense with Little Rock School District, because we know that over the summer you lose some of your reading, some of your training.
Church leaders say the program addresses a growing need after finding hundreds of students in Pulaski County are reading below grade level.
It's about their livelihood, that if they can read, they can be successful. And we know that if children can't read, by the time they get to middle school or high schools, and because of some of the policies that we have across the state and in school districts, they may become failures. They may drop out of school.
Through multicultural reading lessons, students see themselves in the stories they read and recognize their potential for success.
It sets a standard, so they value us as a race of people, that we can contribute, that we have contributed to society. So they need to be in books. They need to know about their culture.
Beyond the classroom, students also take field trips across Little Rock to learn about the city's civil rights history and the legacy that inspired the Freedom School movement. In Little Rock, Tamer Knight, THV 11 News.
Tamer, thank you. Enrollment for the Freedom School is closed for summer 2026, but church leaders say they hope it will grow and expand next summer. A woman who lived with severe depression for much of her life is sharing a turning point after finding a new treatment that finally brought relief.
And to the elementary school teachers across the street, I bet y'all get a lot of these. You always need a little pick-me-up. I'd be asleep probably by 9:05 if the first bell rang at 8 o'clock if I had one of these cinnamon rolls. This week on Eat It Up, we are down in Clark County in Arkadelphia. Don't make our way down here too much. Had to come try it. Skully's Coffee. This place has taken this town by storm. Unbelievable coffee, by the way, to say the least. Energy drinks left and right, and what we are being told, and we're going to put to the test, one of the best cinnamon rolls in the state of Arkansas. Arkadelphia, I hope you're ready. So what do you say? Let's eat it up!
Just had a vision that we wanted to help our community and also make coffee, make good coffee. And so that's what we did. And we didn't realize it was going to take off as well as it has. We're glad it has. Our community has really supported us as well as we've supported them. We found the logo and we really liked it. So we all just kind of brainstormed and thought, what can we name it? And then, so we came up with Skully's. And then another guy that works for us at the music store said, yeah, because the coffee's so good, you feel it in your bones. And I said, that's our motto.
We're really trying to be as involved in the community as possible. And we're actually doing some fundraisers to help out community organizations and help out some individuals here in town also.
Our most popular drink right now is our Pink Poison, which is a raspberry and a white chocolate. And it's a cold brew mixed with our cold brew, and it's delicious. It's our favorite. Our second would be like our bone chiller, which is a vanilla latte with a vanilla cold foam. So those are made by Nana's Baking out of Texarkana. She's also my sister, so I'm a little biased. Those are wonderful. They're some of the best cinnamon rolls you'll ever eat. She makes cinnamon streusel cake. She makes our cake pops. She makes our pecan pie bars. You're going to try all of that later.
Let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Best cinnamon roll in Clark County. Maybe the best cinnamon roll between Arkadelphia and Little Rock. That is so tasty. I absolutely love peaches and cream. Not just because of the song too, by the way, but that's your new summer drink right here at Skully's. Delicious. The Skull Punch. I've been excited to try this one. There's a skull on top of there. You can put it right there in your drink. Eat it whenever you're ready. Very jealous I live an hour away from Arkadelphia because I'd be getting me a Skull Punch about every morning. Look at that size of that cookie. So amazing. Bubs, Tanner, I know you're at home. I'm bringing one home, buddy.
As we mark the 250th birthday of our nation, we're also highlighting the breakthroughs still pushing America forward. Some of the biggest are happening in medicine, where new discoveries are changing lives every day. In this week's Red, White, and You, we look at one breakthrough that gave an Arkansas woman a powerful new tool in her lifelong battle.
Right. As far back as she can remember, Sandy Rasmussen has only seen life through the lens of depression.
I was always very
sensitive as a child. I was depressed from an early age.
The oldest child in her family, Sandy says her parents had their own issues, giving her little to no support. She eventually learned to keep her struggle to herself.
I didn't have friends when I was young. It was like everybody knew there was something odd about me. My first suicide attempt was when I was 12 years old.
Other attempts would follow, with the last one an overdose, leaving her in a coma for days.
It was too painful to live.
The early days of modern psychiatry offered few effective options for treatment-resistant depression. Patients like Sandy tried the newest drugs, talk therapy, even electroconvulsive therapy, where controlled electrical currents travel through the brain with the goal of resetting mood-regulating neurons. She would begin a new treatment with optimism, only to see each one fail. Then, in the late 80s, a new type of brain chemistry drug hit the American market. Psychiatry began buzzing over this breakthrough medication called Prozac.
I thought, oh my God, a drug, finally.
Sandy was optimistic, but just as before, the sadness returned. By then, she and her psychiatrist agreed they had truly tried everything.
And she said, oh, we've come to the end of the road, Sandy. I don't have anything else for you.
Years later, Sandy's husband Richard stepped in, taking her to UAMS in Little Rock for a fresh start. The couple learned of a revolutionary, non-invasive, newly approved therapy called Stanford Neuromodulation, or SAINT. SAINT uses brain mapping and magnetic stimulation to directly target the area of the brain where emotional activity is located. And unlike other TMS therapies, SAINT is done in 5 short days. But would it work, or would it be like all the others? When did you first begin to feel like something in you was changing?
It was about on the third day.
From the third day to now, nearly 14 months later, and still free of depression.
If you had ever told me I would have 14 months of peace, I would have never believed you.
And her message to others still suffering.
Just don't give up on your life. Because I know there's a lot of young people out there who suffer. And there is help. You don't have to live your life like this.
Well, that'll do it for our 11 on 11 right here on THV 11 Plus. And join us next week for all your top headlines in the natural state.